Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, and I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think this is a very bad phrase for people, mainly because it prevents them from thinking about why something works. So it's not to say that it's always bad. If something's working for you and you understand why, then that's a good thing. But if you don't know why something is working, then that is problematic. So a couple examples. Well, let's start with, let's say you're at a blackjack table and you're purely winning on luck. That's not a good thing. You should be able to understand why certain strategies or whatever else might be working for you. Same thing with poker. Oftentimes, let's say youth leagues, right, in sports, take soccer for example, because it's the sport I know most. Let's say I make a pass and I get lucky with the pass, right? Where we're playing a very weak team and I just make an errant pass and it happens to go through. My teammate is able to get on the end of it, take it, and score. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, that's not necessarily the case, because if it's a bad pass and let's say we were taking on any other team, a defender would have blocked that pass, probably need to fix it. And so what this really is about is the analysis of decision making. Oftentimes, the reason why people like to cite failure as good, especially like let's say Silicon Valley, fail fast and so forth, is because it forces them to be introspective. And unfortunately, it's typically that failure that makes us introspective. We don't often stop and wonder about things when they're quote unquote working. And I think that creates a big problem. Now, there was an article that I was reading, and this was a while ago, so I don't remember the publication, but I will try to link to it down below and find it. But it was a major publication, let's say like New York Times or Forbes or Business Insider or something along those lines, that was saying essentially how experts over time get worse at predicting outcomes. And this is because they have, after a certain amount of time, they have a bias. They think they are experts and they know more through their experience. Whereas before, when they were younger, they would examine all angles and so forth and really come to the right conclusion. There's one example that the article has given where, let's say, dentists after a certain point, they might not do a newer procedure, because it's not like the old ones are bad, but the newer ones, they just don't feel like they need to sort of, let's say, learn or something like that. So it's very interesting. It's this idea that as time goes on and things are working for us, we reinforce our biases. What's interesting to me, and one of the top investors in the world, Ray Dalio, what I appreciate about him when he talks about his success, everyone says like, oh, you're always right, you're always right. Well, not necessarily the case, but also what I appreciate about him is he says, well, yeah, you think that I'm always right, but you don't examine the method. And the method for him is he always triangulates his decision making with other people. He knows in the back of his mind that he has a bias towards something, that he has this inherent feeling that he's going to make a wrong decision. And so because of that, he always spends a lot of time in decision making, trying to understand things and get different perspectives and see his weak points. And I think that's really cool. There's a lot of chess players who examine their chess matches after the fact, and even if they win, well, they go back and try to understand why they won. So the long and short of it ultimately being that no matter what you're doing in life, really examine the outcome. Just because you've won something or you got the outcome you were looking for, don't settle on that. Try to understand why it happened. Don't let failure be the catalyst for such introspection. So anyway, Hope that helps you, and I'll see you next time with another quick lesson of mine. Bye.